Steph Curry's impact on basketball is immeasurable. His three-point shooting revolutionized the sport, bending defenses to his will and creating a blueprint that teams have struggled to counter for over a decade. But now, as the legend faces yet another ankle injury, questions linger. At age 36, with countless battles behind him and more on the horizon, how much more can Curry's body endure? For the Warriors, Curry isn't just a player, he's the spirit of the team, the heart that beats at the core of their success. His injury forces Golden State to face an urgent reality. How will they navigate this season, and can they maintain their edge without him? But while Curry's resilience has always defined him, this time he has powerful allies behind him. Let's explore the partnership between Steve Kerr and Terry Stotts and what it could mean for Golden State's future. Steph Curry's three-point shooting prowess didn't just set records, it altered the NBA landscape. Every shot he takes pulls defenders to the perimeter, disrupts defensive schemes, and forces even the best coached teams to scramble. Since his NBA debut, Curry has averaged over 3.6 three-pointers per game, an unmatched feat in NBA history. But with every record-breaking shot comes the physical toll. Curry's recent left ankle injury is a reminder of his past struggles, a nod to his early days when injuries threatened to overshadow his talent. This time, though, the stakes are higher than ever. The world has watched Curry overcome countless setbacks. Each time he returns stronger, defying both age and injury with a resolve that few athletes possess. His body may be 36 years old, but his spirit remains relentless. This injury could be a turning point, a test of whether his experience and grit can bring him back once again against all odds. And as he prepares for his return, the Warriors' future depends on more than his performance. Steve Kerr and Terry Stotts are crafting a plan to maximize every strength Curry brings, alongside the team they're carefully rebuilding. The foundation of this plan lies in a partnership between Kerr and Stotts, two basketball minds shaping Golden State's new identity. When Steve Kerr and Terry Stotts joined forces, it signaled a major shift. Kerr, the mastermind behind the Warriors' championship success, has always valued team cohesion, defense, and a style of play that puts the team before individual accolades. Stotts, with his background from the Trail Blazers, offers a fresh perspective focused on player agency, giving athletes the freedom to express their skills within a flexible framework. Together, they're more than just coaches. They're innovators with a singular goal to make the Warriors more adaptable, less predictable, and ultimately more dangerous. With Stotts, Kerr gains not only a strategic ally, but also a philosophy that values each player's strengths, focusing on adaptability rather than rigid roles. This approach acknowledges that today's NBA demands flexibility and speed, especially for a team like Golden State that's been at the top and now faces the challenge of reinventing itself. Stotts' influence is already visible, with players like Hield, Wiggins, and Kuminga finding new ways to contribute. It's a partnership where experience meets innovation, aimed at creating a team that can adjust on the fly, counter opponents' strengths, and set the pace of the game. This brings us to a crucial element of Golden State's playstyle that Kerr and Stotts are determined to reestablish pace. For the Warriors, pace has always been about control. It's about dictating the speed of the game, turning every defensive stop into an offensive surge before opponents have a chance to react. During Mike Brown's tenure as defensive coordinator, pace became an essential part of the Warriors' identity. Fast breaks turned into three-pointers, defensive rebounds led to immediate scoring opportunities. But since Brown's departure, the Warriors have lost some of that explosive momentum, slipping in rankings. Now, Kerr and Stotts see pace as a non-negotiable component of their playbook. Reclaiming pace isn't just about running faster, it's about creating seamless transitions from defense to offense, capitalizing on every opportunity. The goal is to exhaust opponents, force mistakes, and push the Warriors' advantage. Imagine Curry, fresh off his return, sprinting down the court flanked by Hield and Payton, with Draymond setting picks and creating scoring lanes. This isn't just about scoring, it's about breaking down defenses mentally and physically. Kerr and Stotts know that pace isn't a gimmick. It's a weapon designed to keep the Warriors in control from the first whistle to the final buzzer. And while pace sets the tone, the real magic lies in the Warriors' iconic motion offense, which has shaped their identity for years. The Warriors' motion offense isn't just a play style's reform. For years, it's been the secret behind their success, confusing defenses with its constant movement, intricate passes, and fluid screens. But without Klay Thompson, who's now with the Mavericks, and with Draymond Green's diminished athleticism, the synergy that once defined this offense has been hard to replicate. Kerr and Stotts are determined to adapt it to the current roster, designing a system where every player is a potential threat. The new motion offense is about versatility. Kerr and Stotts have adapted the playbook to accommodate a younger, faster roster while keeping Curry as the core playmaker. This approach gives players like Hield and Moody room to move, to find open looks, and to challenge defenses from all angles. Each player has a role, but they're encouraged to make adjustments, read defenses, and adapt in real time. This evolution of the motion offense could be Golden State's answer to a more physically demanding league, a way to keep defenses guessing while maximizing every inch of the court. But it's not just about offense. This new philosophy goes deeper, touching on Stotts' revolutionary concept of player agency. Stotts' concept of player agency is a game changer, particularly for younger players like Kuminga and Moody, who are eager to prove themselves. In a league where players are often expected to follow rigid roles, Stotts advocates for a system where players can bring their strengths forward, evolving within the team's structure rather than being constrained by it. It's a concept that empowers the entire roster, turning each player into a critical asset, regardless of their position. With player agency, Stotts wants each Warrior to understand their value. Kuminga's athleticism, Moody's perimeter shooting, and Podziemski's determination are no longer secondary, they're focal points. For Curry, this approach is liberating. He doesn't have to shoulder the entire burden. His teammates are ready to step up, take ownership, and contribute. In Stotts' system, each player's development is as important as their performance. It's a philosophy designed not just to win games, but to create a cohesive unit where every Warrior knows their purpose. While this individual empowerment strengthens the team's offense, Stotts and Kerr know that without defense, their vision remains incomplete. That's where Jerry Stackhouse steps in. Jerry Stackhouse has rejoined Golden State with a mission to restore the Warriors' defensive prowess. Over the last 2 seasons, their defense has slipped from championship levels, leaving gaps that opponents were quick to exploit. Stackhouse understands that defense isn't just about blocking shots or forcing turnovers, it's about discipline, positioning, and grit. His goal is to turn every Warriors game into a defensive clinic where every opponent struggles to find open lanes or clean looks. Stackhouse's philosophy is relentless. He's drilling the team on fundamentals, ensuring that every Warrior is a defensive threat. Green and Payton set the tone with their intensity, but even younger players are stepping up. Stackhouse's approach demands commitment, but the reward is undeniable. A defense that frustrates, exhausts, and wears down opponents doesn't just win games, it crushes spirits. And with Stackhouse leading the charge, the Warriors are beginning to look like the impenetrable force they once were. As the Warriors fortify their defense, they're also experimenting with lineups, each player battling for a role in Kerr's coveted rotation. With so much talent on the roster, Kerr faces a difficult task, selecting the 10 players who will form the core rotation. This isn't just about skill, it's about synergy, grit, and the ability to perform under pressure. Every day, players like Wiggins, Kuminga, and Moody fight for their place on the court, pushing each other to new heights. It's an environment where only the strongest, most committed players will thrive, where every moment in practice counts. This internal competition is more than just filling spots. It's about creating a lineup that's adaptable, cohesive, and resilient. Kerr is looking for players who can execute under pressure, who can be counted on when Curry is resting, and who are hungry to prove themselves. For the Warriors, this environment isn't just about finding the best players, it's about creating a team that's ready to face anything the season throws up. But ultimately, all these efforts are aimed at one goal: restoring the Warriors to their former glory, reclaiming their place at the top of the NBA. The Warriors' journey to reclaim dominance won't be easy. They face tougher competition, more physical games, and a league that's evolved to counter their strategies. But with Curry's impending return, a reimagined offense, and a defense designed to suffocate opponents, the Warriors aren't here to be a mere shadow of their past. They're here to rebuild, adapt, and show the NBA that they still have what it takes. For the Warriors, this isn't just a season, it's a statement. They're ready to prove they're still one of the league's elite, prepared to silence doubters and take on any team. The season is about legacy, resilience, and an unwavering belief that their journey is far from over.